The thought of running twice a day can seem unimaginable to most of us. However, to experienced runners, it's become a legitimate route to running success. In fact, when Eliud Kipchoge revealed his training plan back in 2018 to break the world record in marathon distance, doubles or two-a-days were a massive part of it. Whether you're an experienced runner, an intermediate or a complete beginner, if you want to know if this type of training is right for you, then just stick with me.
So first of all, let's have a look at the benefits of double run days. This approach might be particularly useful for those whose weekly volume is already high and might not have the time to fit in additional length to their single runs. So what these people can do is split their runs, say one run in the morning and then another in the evening to add to their total daily volume, which will add to their total weekly volume, saving them having to find time for a single block of running. Then there's the fitness side of things. A study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that running twice a day can increase muscular strength and increase anaerobic capacity by making greater gains in your VO2 max and speeding up the production of mitochondria. These are the structures within cells that produce energy.
It can have huge benefits in terms of training your body how to recover faster and more efficiently. Studies have shown that running twice a day can teach your body how to replenish its glycogen stores, which is basically its energy reserves, more efficiently to reduce its fatigue and speed up the rebuilding process through the production of extra growth hormones. Although this isn't something that happens on the first double day you do. I'm actually out of breath, wow. Tongue twister. It is something that can happen naturally and gradually over time.
One thing that's been debated a lot is that by turning your second run into a form of active recovery, so essentially making it an easy run, you are getting the blood moving through the muscles again and helping flush out the lactate that's been built up on the earlier run. It's not all great though. There are honestly some downsides to running 2 times a day. Firstly, in a practical sense, trying to find a time for 2 separate runs can take its toll on you, as well as trying to persuade yourself and give yourself the motivation to leave your house for 2 separate runs. It is a lot to ask. For me personally, it's all the washing that I have to do. Running twice a day takes its toll on my washing machine.
Then there's the risk of overtraining. Overtraining can negatively impact performance, increase your risk of injury, and can lead to physical and mental fatigue.
That can happen for a number of reasons though, and that brings me on to the next part of this video, where we're going to explore who's going to benefit from this approach and who isn't, and how to make sure you get the right approach so you're not overstretching yourself. Before we do that though, if you can, just comment below if you've ever doubled up on runs and what your experience has been of it. So if you're a beginner, or you're not running more than 4 times a week, or you don't have a history of sustained weekly volume behind you, then doubling up on your runs might not be the best for you or even necessary. If you want to improve your running, gradually adding to your runs, making them longer, will be more beneficial for you than adding multiple short runs. Intermediate runners who want to dip their toe into double run days should only incorporate one of these a week. The second run should be much easier than the first run, and that could be done by making it shorter, slower, or both. Pro runners might be doubling up on their runs multiple times a week to help them achieve their goals. For instance, they might be going for a speed session in their morning to increase their anaerobic fitness, and then a recovery run in the evening so that they're ready for their long run the next day. I was speaking to some pro athletes the other day, and they told me that the new technology has completely changed the way that they do their doubles. The foam in these super shoes has allowed their recovery to speed up so much that they don't need to do a recovery run in the evening. They instead swap that out for another threshold or tempo run. It's actually crazy what this technology can do. So with that being said, I'm intrigued to know what you think. Do you think as humans we're getting faster, or do you think our technology is just getting better? For anyone doing double runs, there are some vital things to get right to avoid injury or burnout. Rule number 1 is ensuring that you are prioritizing your recovery in between both of those runs. So making sure that you refuel, you rehydrate, and you give yourself at least 5 hours between the 2 runs to ensure that you're getting enough recovery. And then make sure at the end of the second run, you have a post-run routine in place. Rule number 2 is not forget the 10% rule. This means that you want to be adding 10% onto your weekly volume week on week at most to make sure that you are training safely and effectively. So this rule still applies even if you are doing double sessions. Rule number 3 is keep your long runs in. These runs are crucial for building up your endurance, your mental readiness, and your muscle strength. So make sure that you keep these in, especially if you are training for a half marathon or a full marathon. If you want, you can split your mid-length runs, but make sure you keep your long runs long. Rule number 4 is to listen to your body. If it doesn't feel right or you're feeling particularly exhausted, then today isn't the day for you. It's always better to take a break than to increase your risk of injury. If you've not tried doubling up before and you're keen on giving it a go, then before jumping headfirst into something as intense, try something a little bit less intense like this. Go for a run in the morning, and then in the evening do some cross training, so something like the elliptical or some cycling, which will give you the same aerobic benefits as running, but without the impact on the joints. If you're keen on learning more, then make sure you watch this video right here.